And Walker for the Capital Weather Team. We're talking about heat this week, the chance for some severe, strong to severe storms, and maybe some flooding downpours. Thanks for joining me on these Sundays at 7. Anytime you need us, a human always at the helm at capitalweather.com. So thanks again. I'm Cameron Walker. We're watching temperatures this week. Slowly, the heat goes down gradually, we think, maybe in a haphazard, unsteady way this week. But middle part of this week could be briefly cooler. Maybe by this weekend, we're briefly less humid. So it's worth watching to see if we can maybe feel a little bit more like August, because at the beginning of this week, we do have some above average heat and humidity. It could feel like around 100 at times when you combine the air temperature, which is already hot, especially on Monday tomorrow, with the high humidity. The dew points around 70, maybe low 70s at times. David, good to see you on Facebook. And Ron, good to see you on YouTube. Thanks so much. Ada, Jess, Ian, Kak, Higgs, Kat, Kanama, G. Hitcher, Jess, and Christine Young, and Bodro. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram as well. Hello, Dave, and hello, Ruth Elisa. All right, comments are rolling in, so that is excellent. Appreciate seeing all of you live on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, YouTube, X, and Facebook. Follow us on all 5 of our channels at Capital Weather, and don't forget to download our app at Apple and at Android. So appreciate all of you following us at capitalweather.com. Now, a little small chance of a couple strong storms tomorrow, but we're more focused on Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's start with Monday first. Tomorrow you can see 1 or 2 strong storms with some high wind as possible. Most of it stays northwest of town, the bulk, the highest risk. Tuesday and Wednesday is what we're watching, closer to this scenario where we do have some maybe heavier storms moving in to the area from the west and northwest. So we'll keep an eye on it. The threats for Tuesday and even Wednesday are flooding downpours and damaging wind gusts over 57 miles per hour. So we'll have to watch this. We could have, a couple threats coming at us. So far does not look like a widespread numerous storm issue, a major storm outbreak, but it's worth keeping an eye on. And here's kind of a picture with the flooding downpour threat. Marginal. We're not talking a very high risk, even though we're talking about 2 threats of high wind and flooding downpours as a combination. As the heat tries to ebb, it won't give up the ghost. It's trying to wring out moisture in the atmosphere and really give us some downpours before it maybe by this upcoming weekend allows the dew points to get below 70. So this is kind of the battle this week, the battle that's setting up. And temperatures are definitely hot on Monday, definitely above average. It's going to feel like near 100 once, maybe twice this week, especially when you combine the air temperatures with the high humidity. Good evening, Jim. Thanks for tuning in. Happy muggy and buggy Sunday evening to you as well. And Max Dip and Josh Golt and Marcia, thanks for tuning in on Instagram as well. And we've got Enter, Sale, and C. Cardulo is asking about the drought. Let's check on that. The good news is along the I-95 corridor, we are technically only abnormally dry. Technically not in a drought. And that yellow area, the yellow highlight color along the 95 corridor, and over kind of on the western edge of our core viewing area over in West Virginia, also abnormally dry as well. Let's see. We've got Wolf Trap this week. I think Tuesday, Wednesday are the biggest issues for Wolf Trap concerts, but I do see storm chances Monday through Thursday this week, maybe even Friday. I don't want to express any sort of high confidence on the end of this week, how and when, if we get some drier air into the region, which means lower humidity and lower rain chances. But here it is this upcoming week, a fair amount of rain. I think a lot of this falls Tuesday and Wednesday of this week as it looks now. So Wolf Trap, and keep your plans nimble. Keep a plan B if possible. On Tuesday, yes, mid to late afternoon storms, even into the evening. Gosh, yeah, it's can't give you some great news there, SM, but thanks for tuning in on YouTube. Really appreciate seeing you. Steve, hello, and Culpepper. Let's see, you were just west of last night's storm damage. That's great to hear. Time for another rain dance, Mike. I'm not sure the droughts and the rain are pretty healthy overall right now, though. Yes, if you're tuning in from near Shenandoah County, Mike, we do want to get a little bit better, just a little more rain there to chip away the final piece of the drought and get you downgraded to abnormally dry. Yes, that would be nice. Averages for the week are going down for the highs. Yes, 89, I believe, going down to 88 by the end of the week for an average high. So that's why when these temperatures above, there's so many 90s, it's something I want to express as feeling a little bit more like July than August. So we'll need to watch that. Trying to ebb the heat back down to August levels, kind of by the middle part of this week. SM, you're most welcome, and very good. We've got on Instagram AI X and the Witness and Dr. Jenny and Lizzie. Thanks for tuning in, and Sue Kelly. All right. I've caught up on all your questions and comments in all five of our social media channels right now. At Capital Weather on all five of our channels, and our Apple and Android app are available anytime you need us. Of course, we are the Capital Weather team, a human always at the helm at capitalweather.com. And don't forget, I've helped create the shop at capitalweather.com/store. I'm not even putting the code up on the screen if you want $7 off. I think the code I've created is Sundays at 7, all one word. So I think lowercase Sundays at symbol and number 7 to get $7 off at capitalweather.com/store. Advertise with us at advertise at capitalweather.com on our sites, on our weekly Sundays at 7 live chat here every week. And Danny, late afternoon storms are most likely Tuesday and Wednesday. Uh, the atmosphere doesn't directly respond. It doesn't have to be simply hot or simply humid. You have to have lift, instability, and moisture, the three main ingredients for thunderstorm development. And those ingredients don't best come together until Tuesday and Wednesday. So let's go through that again, because that's a great point. We've sometimes had heat waves with heat and humidity, and we aren't always getting those cooling thunderstorms. So let's kind of focus up a little bit on these storms. Hot and humid, especially Monday and somewhat on Tuesday. Uneven decrease in temperatures as we go down into this middle and later part of this week. And we're looking at maybe one or two flooding downpours on Monday, one or two storms with gusty, damaging winds, potentially over 57 miles per hour. Now, Tuesday and Wednesday are looking a bit like this Tuesday map for Tuesday and Wednesday. Afternoon and evening storms. We've got lift, moisture, and instability. A higher dew point doesn't necessarily mean it's going to rain and to flooding downpours, but we've got the triggers now present on, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday. And you can see the focus is a little bit more west of DC, toward West Virginia, the western parts of Virginia. But the trajectory of the mechanisms creating some good downpours, some gusty storms are there on Tuesday and Wednesday heading into the DC area. And here's the flooding downpour threat. Marginal. I don't want to overstate this. I don't want to overstate, we're very confident and that it's going to be widespread flooding downpours, but it's worth mentioning a lot of this week's rain is expected to fall on Tuesday and Wednesday with the storms in the region. We'll have a disturbance nearby, a wayward front trying to push in from the north at the end of this week, doing its best. And I'll show you the dew points, which continue to be delayed. The dry dew points in the 50s, and even I think most of us will take something in the mid 60s or lower. Those simply are skipping out to sea. We're staying pretty muggy. Maybe there Friday-ish, Saturday-ish, maybe in the weekend. But there's a chance for a humidity resurgence into next week. So I don't want to overpromise a break from the humidity. And yes, there is some correlation between the flooding downpour threat that we're also talking about for Tuesday and Wednesday. So not not a widespread threat, not a big, huge potential that we need to pull alarm bells for, but it's part of this Tuesday, Wednesday focus on maybe a few severe storms, gusty storms with damaging wind gusts potentially over 57 miles per hour, and some flooding downpours to go with it. So it's kind of a double trouble, especially Tuesday and Wednesday. But I don't on Monday. I also want to show you this map. Marginal, ever so slight chance for one or two downpours, one or two strong storms Monday as well, with some damaging wind gusts. Sally Sparrow, you're most welcome. Sam Dodry and Anna, Andy, Jazzy, and How late tonight to look for stargazing in Shenandoah from Dauntless? Gosh, when does Civil Twilight end? I think you're gonna want to wait until after 11 p.m. But I think civil astronomical twilight may start as early as like 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. So you have a few hours there, but do make sure you're beyond civil twilight and near the end of astronomical twilight. Go to timeanddate.com. Actually, I think that might be your best source. I love stargazing as well. You just don't want too much light pollution. Stationary, Amy, Cooper, thanks for joining in. Jim, thanks for tuning in on Facebook. You photographed 4 double rainbows within a 10-day period in Baltimore. Rinse and repeat for sure. I am glad your camera is getting a good workout and I appreciate you catching those. Make sure you submit those on our app on Apple or Android. All of that goes into a shared area where we can feature your photo on capitalweather.com. And again, thanks for joining me, everyone, on our 5 social media channels. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweather.com. I'm Camden Walker for the Capital Weather team. We do this every Sunday, Sundays, 7 p.m. live chat, and on our 5 social media channels as well, in addition to the blog. Now, above me is the temperature trajectory this week. You can see early week hot, early week humid, and an uneven, slow decline, maybe middle part of this week. We cool the temperatures off, less warm, let's say, less hot for sure. And then at the end of the week, into the weekend, maybe a little bit less humid, but we continue to see delays in the dry air, which may get cut off completely. We might not see much, if any, dry air by the end of the week into the weekend. So let us manage your expectations on humidity this week and storms and excuse me, the humidity persisting this week. So we'll go into that in a minute. And Kenneth on X needs a cold front. Yes. Wednesday into Thursday could have some partly cloudy skies for the Perseid meteor shower, Dave. And Ruth Lisa, oh, thanks so much. I hope you can shop and use that code Sundays at 7 at our shop to get that discount, capitalweather.com/store. And my secret code for all of my viewers here every weeking, the code is Sundays, plural, all lowercase, I believe, Sundays at the symbol at 7 to get $7 off at our Capital Weather store. And anytime you want to advertise, we're at advertise@capitalweather.com. You can email us there to advertise here or on the site directly at capitalweather.com. Let's see. I also posted on the site, capitalweather.com, my update on kind of how the heat signal looks this week, the outlook on the heat. Highest on Monday, low to mid 90s, pretty darn certain, and even a small chance for some upper 90s on Monday tomorrow. But you can see the heat signal. I like this because it looks like a kind of a sound meter or thermometer. Like how high does that red thermometer go? Still pretty warm on Tuesday. That's something. But you can see the heat signal kind of unevenly starts exiting a little bit by the end of this week. Cooler temperatures, less humidity, Julia, maybe the end of the week into the weekend, but I'm managing expectations because dew points just simply do not want to get the heck out of here. Let me reactivate those for you. The muggy, super high humidity purples just don't stay out of here reliably. Maybe a brief moment you might see there at the end of the week, end of the weekend, but that has narrowed, that's shortened, that keeps getting delayed. My personal concern is that we somehow skip out on seeing a dry air break even for a full day. So that is the bad news. The humidity may continue for the time being. Rain chances next weekend. I can give you the outlook overall. Overall, the next 7 days. First of all, the bulk of this rain that you see over the next 7 days falls on Tuesday, Wednesday, Taba. So that's some good news. The rain chances taper a little bit for this upcoming weekend. Low confidence going that far out, but the precipitation pattern still leans into kind of the medium term towards slightly above average precipitation. So that is coloring the outlook into kind of leaning into maybe some afternoon shower storm chances even this upcoming weekend. But we could still use it in much of the region. Finally, in the DC area, in the 95 corridor, you can see yellow there indicating abnormally dry, which is technically below drought conditions, but a lot of the region's still in moderate and even some patches of darker orange there indicating severe drought. So we need to continue to see some rain in the region just to keep things in good shape. All right, on the air another 5 minutes. I believe I've caught up on Facebook and YouTube and X. Thank you so much for tuning in on all five of our social media channels. You can follow us at Capital Weather, download the app, Android and Apple. And of course, every week we do these chats Sundays at 7, live from the Capital Weather team. I'm Camden Walker, human always at the helm at our site, capitalweather.com. Madison and Picture and Nicholas and the best. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram. Let me make sure I have caught up on your questions and comments on all of our platforms. It looks like, and feel free to repeat before I go. Jay Z04, greetings from Frederick. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in there on Instagram as well. And Misha and Theo, break from the heat and humidity. I'm managing your expectations on humidity. That again, little to no humidity break possible. We hopefully see still at the end of this week and at the weekend a small brief time of maybe some dew points near 60, then around and over 70, which is high, which is what we're feeling here in the purples according to the European weather model. So yeah, yeah, it's just going to be less hot by the middle part of this week. I think even we'll get below 90, some 80s, which is typical for the August. Still, we should see some mid to upper 80s for much of the region. But the humidity kind of sticks around, and that's also somewhat typical of August. Make sure you see Ian Livingston's piece yesterday at capitalweather.com. He detailed how it's been a very, very humid start to August as well. Let's see. Let's talk about severe thunderstorms. Julia, there are one or two possible tomorrow, but we're focused on Tuesday and Wednesday, a pattern like this. Storms coming in from the west, west northwest. We've got moisture instability and lift coming together. We might see a few, not too many, but a few storms with gusty winds, damaging winds possible over 57 miles per hour. And on Tuesday and Wednesday, not only is there a wind threat, but a flooding downpour threat as well. So we will need to monitor there for a marginal chance for some flash flooding in the region Tuesday and Wednesday. It looks to be the bulk of this week's rain that we've been talking about falling over the next 7 days. A lot of this is going to fall Tuesday and Wednesday. So no alarm bells, no high confidence forecasts, and a numerous storms of widespread severe weather outbreak, but it's a time of year where the ingredients come together with the heat and humidity we've been talking about and moisture instability and lift. Those ingredients are coming together to bake us a pie of potential, a few severe storms this week. And it will be hot to start the week. And slowly, unevenly, we start getting those temperatures more towards feeling like August rather than July at the end of this week. And the heat signal, as we have been talking about, and details are, I updated the capitalweather.com site. You'll see full details with this chart, but just showing you the chances for very high heat Monday for this time of year, above average for sure. Tuesday, still hot, but the chances for noticeably above average heat decrease as we go through this week. Jaimes and Nicola, thanks for joining. Hello, Jenig. You have a great week to you as well. Thanks for tuning in. And Diana and Seymour. And Wednesday commute should be okay, Ruth Elisa. Not too scorching by that point. And yeah, August feeling like August indeed, David. All right, so Julia, your dog just needs to be careful on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. That's the highest chance, but only a few storms. Like again, not pulling alarm bells here, but a few storms Tuesday and Wednesday could have high winds, lightning, thunder, which your dog is not going to like potentially, and flooding downpours ever so slightly possible as well. All right, so as we're closing out here, thanks for everyone tuning in. And Catherine, make sure you see that how humid has been notably humid start to this August. Ian Livingston just yesterday, we'll try and refresh the blog, but check out capitalweather.com and look for all of our live content this past weekend. Ian did a great job evaluating how humid it has been. All right, let's see. Thanks for repeating your question, Ruth Elisa. And Tuesday night, Trung could be a bit wet for an outdoor concert. So we're most concerned about outdoor plans for afternoon and evenings of Tuesday and Wednesday this week. A few, just so as it looks now, a few gusty storms and a few flooding downpours are possible for this upcoming week. And rain amounts are healthy, mainly falling. And this is the 7-day rain amounts, but mainly this bulk of this rain will fall on Tuesday and Wednesday this week. All right, I think we've covered just about everything. We're focused on Tuesday, Wednesday storms. A few could be strong to severe with flooding downpours and damaging wind gusts. Temperatures start off strong and hot tomorrow on Monday, and we get a little bit more toward August feelings instead of July feelings for the middle and end part of this week. I'm Camden Walker. You have a wonderful week, JJ, as well. And Jim, have a great week. And Dave and David and the wine and Emulch and HVV. And Stacy, you stay cool as well. It'll be hard on Monday and Tuesday, but you stay cool as well. And beach weather looks acceptable, Thomas, overall for next weekend. We'll keep you posted at capitalweather.com if we see any changes to that. We had a good question earlier about rain chances, and there's low confidence that it should be limited, I think, is a good way to say it for next weekend. But we'll need to watch it because that's far enough away for sure that a few things could change in the atmosphere. All right, Camden Walker for the Capital Weather team signing off. I wish everyone a great week. Stay cool, stay dry, and just keep a slight small eye on the storms Tuesday and Wednesday with us.